Hi, this is Casey July from the July Studio. Welcome back to my workspace. So today I wanted to make a video because I wanted to address some issues that I've been running into, and I just wanted to share with you a little bit of what has been kind of heavy on my heart. And I think if I get it out there in the open a little bit and address it, that will help me start moving forward. Some of the things that I say in my other videos is I'm always trying to make myself better, always trying to see what I can do better in a situation. And I actually had a conversation with a good friend this afternoon about some of the stuff I'm going to share with you today. And that's one of the things I said to this person was, I'm just trying to figure out how I can do better, how I can be better, how I can go forward and avoid situations like this in the future. So I know I'm not perfect, and I know that I can always improve on who I am and be a better person and handle situations so that we don't end up having issues and problems, the same issues and problems over and over and over again. I feel like that's what life is all about. So working in the entertainment industry, I've had some issues, some bumps where I'm working on a project and something happens. And like, for example, I was working on a long-term theater project, and over time it was brought to our attention that the person who was in charge was really crazy and psychotic, and that turned into like a 3.5-year ordeal of me being bullied. And it was social media bullying. It was sending me stuff in the mail. It was following me when I moved, like I moved from one town to a different town, and this person also moved so that they could be in the same town as me and harass me. And of course, you do all the things you're supposed to do. You go to the police, you report this person, and it just finally kind of got to the point now where the harassing is just not as prominent. It doesn't happen every single day. There for a while it was happening 20, 30 times a day. But what happens is afterwards, other people are like, oh my gosh, you should work with this person. And because I never went around and really like ratted this person out and was really a huge tattletale, when I say to someone, oh yeah, that's a great idea, I might get in touch with them someday, and then I'm stuck. Because the other person thinks they're so wonderful and I'm stuck. Or if I go into a business idea with somebody and we kind of have a informal understanding, and I put in effort and they put in effort, and at some point they decide that they don't want to work with me anymore and they just move on, and they actually start getting some leverage, they actually start getting some coverage, they actually start getting acknowledged for the work. And the fact that I was even part of the project just like blows off in the wind. And so later when I message that person and I say, hey, look, I donated this much time or this much money to the beginning of that project, and it's 2 or 3 years later and you're acting like I was never even there. And they shrug their shoulders and go, sorry. Or if I'm on a board for a project with adults, or if I'm working on a project with a group of adults and one of the adults is sexually inappropriate to me, and I go and I tell their spouse and their spouse is like, sorry, and the board kicks me off the board because they tell me they don't want to deal with me being a troublemaker. And of course, if I try to say, hey, they're the ones that were sexually inappropriate, but I'm the one that gets blacklisted because I was difficult to work with or hard to deal with. So one of the things that I have been told my whole life, and one of the things that I'm really dealing with right now, is the turn the other cheek. It doesn't really matter if you're a Christian. It doesn't really matter if you're a pacifist type religion. You're supposed to let it go, turn the other cheek, do no harm, you know, that kind of thing. And what's happening now, where I am now, is that people are coming to me and saying, you should work with so-and-so. I'm like, that's really nice. Maybe I'll contact them. You should have connections with so-and-so. Have you met so-and-so? Have you been to so-and-so's store and seen their stuff? Why isn't your clothes or your accessories, or why aren't you doing photography with this photographer? Well, people do stuff every single day. I know I do, that they look back later and they go, God, that was like really inappropriate, or that was really unkind, or that was really like that down the road is going to cause me problems. But what I'm running into now is that if person A no longer speaks to me or works with me, or they don't want to have anything to do with me, and I really didn't do anything wrong, or if they did something wrong, like they broke a contract with me or they broke an agreement with me, then I'm stuck. Because if I rat them out or tell people what they did, if they're doing a really successful children's business working with kids, and I say, hey, did you know that when they first started, they used me? People are going to like, oh, they didn't use you. You have to be misunderstanding. Or there's got to be some reason. There's got to be some reason why that happened. I just can't believe that they would do that. They're Christians, or they're good people. I'm sorry. It happens. But what is happening now is people want to introduce me because they have no clue. They have no clue I was part of that fashion show. They have no clue I was part of starting that business. They have no clue that I've worked with that person before. They have no clue that that theater still has my costumes. They have no clue that that model still has my dresses that they borrowed for a shoot and haven't given back in 4 years. Because I've never been a tattletale. I have turned the other cheek and turned the other cheek and turned the other cheek and turned the other cheek so many times that now it's turned into like everybody in my community and everybody in my area that I work with that's ever done something nasty or shitty to me, it's kind of blowing up in my face. And I don't want to rat people out. I don't want to tattletale. I don't want to go around making it a point of making people look bad. I don't want to. It's not on my agenda. It's not part of who I am. And especially in this political turmoil that we're in right now, if you're saying love, not hate on your social media, but you won't work with somebody in your community because you heard a rumor about them, or because so-and-so says they're difficult to work with, or I heard that blah, 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 blah happened, then you're not acting any different than the political turmoil that's happening in our government. You're basing your opinions on things that you can't prove. You're basing your actions on things that you have nothing to do with. You're basing your choices on things that you are so far from. So when you say love, not hate, and 5 seconds later in a message on social media, you lie to somebody because you're not sure if you want to work with them because you've heard rumors about them, then how are your actions any different than what's happening with the political turmoil of our nation? It's got to start at home. It's got to be one-on-one. You've got to be opening up your heart. If you're wearing a safety pin, if you're talking safety pins, which I actually was talking about like months before all of this got hyped right now. If you're talking about, oh, I wear a safety pin, I'm a safe person. You don't get to pick and choose who you're safe for. You have to be safe for everybody. You have to not judge anybody. So on that note, this is where I'm going to cut this short. I'm going to kind of work on this a little bit. I've been outstretching a little bit to some of the people that I've had some turmoil with. I've been trying to reconnect with some of the people that I feel like I've had misunderstandings with. I'm trying to open my eyes to other people's situation and where they're at life. I'm trying to compliment people and support people that have achieved goals that they set for themselves, to let them know that no matter what, I'm proud of them and I support them. And I'm just trying to hold my head up a little bit higher and not let this beat me down. Excuse me. And make sure that other people don't let things like this beat them down either. It doesn't get any easier. If you're being bullied, if you're being judged, if you're not allowed to sit with the cool kids at the table in high school at lunch and you have no clue why, sometimes you're a grown-up and people won't let you sit at the cool kids table and you're a grown-up and you have no idea why. But paraphrasing Ernest Hemingway, the sun burns off the fog. And other people will notice how people treat you. Why I am where I am right now is because other people are noticing how so-and-so is treating me. And if they happen to find out about what really happened, or if they happen to find out my side of the story, they're like, oh my gosh, I had no clue that so-and-so did that to you. I have no clue that that's how that went down. And you're not asking them to pick sides. You're not asking them to just listen to your side or that you're right. You're just saying, look, don't base your judgment on one side of the story. Don't pick and choose who your safety pin represents. You can't pull that. So just a little bit of food for thought today. Thanks for checking me out. Casey July, like, subscribe, share. I'm going to be doing some more sewing videos. I know I keep saying that. I'm so sorry. I keep getting drugged back into my depression and I keep pulling myself back out again. And I really want to include you in what's happening in my life in the hopes that it will help you with yours. Have a great day. Take care of yourself. And I'll talk to you again soon.